together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah. That's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. It'll just be me this morning. It'll just be me running the show for today. Short card, long night. So Tim is not available for this morning. He worked at, I think it was like 4 this morning after we got home around like 12:30 last night. So just me. But what a day it is. NFL kickoff. The Ravens and the Chiefs. We'll get into that game. We'll get into the entire baseball card as well. Not a huge card, only 9 games in the MLB. So we will do all that. But before we get to that, we'll recap yesterday. Yesterday was definitely the type of day that I desperately needed. I posted all my plays over on CapperTek. You guys can follow me over there. Of course, my screens go all black. That's always fun when I'm trying to just move tabs, and my entire computer does that. Let's get that copied, and we'll post that in the chat here. You can find all my plays over here at CapperTek. I posted all my plays yesterday on it, and I went 6-1, up 8.50 units. Desperately needed yesterday after the fourth after on Tuesday getting my ass kicked in baseball, going 1-9. I bounced back in a big way with a 6-1 day yesterday. Phillies money line winner to start my day off against the Blue Jays, -130. The double up on the Chicago White Sox, the -300 fade, comes in for about 5.15 units yesterday. First 5 plus 235, full game plus 280. And that erases the last couple days loss on the -300 fade and some. So that's the thing with the -300 fade. It only has to hit once every like 4 games, and you're good. Like, that's just kind of the way it is. Nationals was incredibly frustrating because the Marlins, I feel like half their wins are in the 10th inning. Like, I feel like those are the type of games they win is when it goes to extras. So kind of weird there. And then St. Louis first 5, winner. Texas first 5, winner. Angels money line, dominant winner over the Dodgers. Nice plus 170 to end the night there. So overall 6-1 yesterday. But yesterday doesn't matter. Today is what matters. And we've got a NFL game to get into. We've got some baseball to get into. And we will do that here. We'll head over to the chat. And then we will get into today. Happy Pablo Lopez Day. Damn, has he been good lately? Pablo Lopez. So we'll see there. Hey, they showed up to work. Yeah, I was traveling yesterday, and I don't know why Tim didn't run a show. RIP to the damn bookies. Let's get it, y'all. Today. Good luck today. You as well. Stop. Gio. Kyle Schwarber is the hottest hitter on the planet. He's hitting really well there. I'm ready to cash out. Let's go. Let's go, Nathan. You happy about White Sox finally winning? It's nice when they've been a -300 fade so many times this year. I need a couple more wins like that. I think the rest of the season from them in order for me to truly be happy about them. But it's nice to see. It's nice to see them get a win there at that type of price tag. Well, we will get into it here. Happy kickoff. It is NFL time. Let's get into it here. Let me adjust there. There we go. And bam. We got some pro NFL football to talk about. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens. The Chiefs are -3 favorites in this game. Total 47. I wanted it a little bit of an under in this game. I think the market's ultimately going to keep me off of it here. This line opened up on May 13th at a 45.5, immediately went up to a 46.5. It sat at 46.5 from May 13th to September 2nd, where it dipped to a 46. Since then, it gone back up to a 46.5, and then it went up to a 47, back down to a 46.5, back up to a 47, up to 47.5 for a couple hours yesterday. Then it came back down to a 47, back down to a 46.5, and now it's sitting at 47. I want the under in this game, but I think the line movement's telling me that we could see some points in this game. So that's not something I don't think I'm gonna end up getting involved with it under here. I wanted to. That first half is interesting. It opened up at a 22.5. It's now up to a 23. So they anticipate early points in this game. So maybe this is a live over, or a live under, if you guys are looking to get involved with the under, because I could see this first half going over, but this full game going under type of thing. We have 67% of the tickets and 67% of the cash is on the Baltimore Ravens. So this line is, so that's kind of evened out a little bit. Now it's 66 and 66. It just adjusted. When I bet it, it was 72%. And like, what was it, 54%, something like that on the Ravens. The Ravens were a public dog. They kind of still are. I don't think I've seen many people on the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs at -2.5, at -120. I would play them at a 3. I think that they can win this game 21-17, 24-20, something along those lines. I think they get about a 3 to 7 point win in this game. I think that's probably where this game lands. And I see a lot of people love the Ravens, and I get it. They're the Ravens. I think this line's this way for a reason and wants Baltimore money. This was a team that last year finished, what was it, 13-4? 13-4. They had a nice dominant win against the Houston Texans, 34-10 in the divisional round. And then they lose to Kansas City, 17-10. This Kansas City team defensively has been really good. They were the underrated defense, I think, of last year. And they were a good second half under team. That was the one thing with the Kansas City Chiefs, is their first halves sometimes saw points, but they were one of the better under teams in the year. And that's because they played shutdown defense in the second half of games. And I can see that here. Maybe a live look on the Chiefs, maybe a live look on the under. I think those are both good looks in this game. And maybe I do move on a live under later tonight. But pregame action, I think I'm going to go in with Kansas City -2.5. And that's it. I think that's the only thing I'm going to go into this game with. And shop around, because I bet this. I bet the Chiefs. When did I bet the Chiefs? It was like 10 days ago or something like that. I took them anticipating to see threes across the board. I want to see if there's threes across the board now, because I got them on August 27th, so a little over a week ago, at 2.5 -120. I want to see if it's. Please show me threes across the board. That's kind of what I want to see here in this spot, and it is basically threes across the board. I love to see that. There's a couple of 2.5s on some books. Bet Rivers is still hanging at 2.5. Bet Safe is as well. Let's take a look. Bet 99 is holding one. Sugar House is holding one. Sports Illustrated is. Sticks is. So a couple books are still holding 2.5s, but I mean, we're seeing majority threes, which is exactly what I was anticipating there. I want to see Pinnacle has a 3. It's +104 for the 3 for KC, but they do have a 3. I don't mind the 3. Shop around, find a 2.5 if you can, but if not, I like the Chiefs to cover this number here in this game. So I am starting off. I'm starting my day off, I'm starting my season off with Red Kingdom here laying 2.5 points. So that's where we're starting off in this game. There we go. Shout out to Clark for that triple-double yesterday, 11-1. Yeah. You think this week can be an under almost? Yeah. I would only look under in this game. The markets kind of keep me off of it with the line moving up. So there, yeah. Y'all gonna use a standalone account to track player props in the NFL this season? I personally don't bet player props. I don't, because I tried it a couple years ago and I've had no success doing it. So I'm going to stick to what I know, and that is sides, totals, team totals, first half bets, stuff like that. I don't get into player props. I'll sprinkle here and there just to BS, but they're never official plays for me. So I mean, you probably can't go wrong with Kelsey touchdown. I think Xavier Worthy can have a decent role in this offense, but I like a little bit of an under. So yeah. Yeah, I can see that as an under week. Yeah, Ravens money line. I feel like everybody's on the Ravens. Chiefs tomahawk the Ravens today. I like that. Yeah. Hopped on Pacheco 25 plus rush yards in both halves at plus 140. That's an interesting look because Clyde Edwards-Helaire is not playing in this game. So that's an interesting look there. Maybe look at Pacheco props. I don't even want to bet on the NFL because I know the refs will be on some shit. That's why I try to read market movements. That's the way I like to cap the NFL a little bit, is figuring out where the markets are. Until Lamar beats Mahomes, I'm betting the Chiefs. Simple. Fair. Aguilar touchdown, 6-1. I could see it. Bum-ass Ravens barely making the playoffs this season. Wow. I mean, that's an interesting look. I made moves on futures yesterday. So there's that. I did move. I did not move on any futures with the two teams playing today. I moved on futures for let me grab which teams real quick. Because I have futures on. Let me try to find them here. Let me just go on my CapperTek, because I did post all my futures on my CapperTek. And if you guys follow me, you can get all the futures bets that I've made, including a couple big ones that I did. Because I got futures on, I want to say, the Panthers, the Colts, the Jets, the Vikings, the Saints, Lions, and yeah, those are the ones I don't. Now I have unders on some of them. I have overs on some of them. I got division futures. I got Super Bowl futures. So we'll see with that. Justin Tucker over 8.5 points. I could see them kicking a lot of field goals. I mean, 21-16 wouldn't surprise me. What's up, Nick? What's good, Tariq? I'm hoping that the Ravens get an early start and jump on the Chiefs at plus money. I will look to bet the Chiefs at plus money if the Ravens come out early. I can definitely get involved with that. And if it's a fast start and maybe I can get a 51.5 or a 52.5, I might grab an under then. Or at halftime, I might grab an under, because I think this first half potentially goes over, which is kind of tempting at this point. Maybe to first half over could be an interesting look. I'm not picking the side in this game. That's fair. DK has a promo. Kelsey or Henry anytime touchdown boosted minus 330 to even money. Oof. Interesting. As well as a 50% boost in that game. Hell yeah. But we will go from the NFL to the Diamond, where we got the Minnesota Twins taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. We have minus 140 for the Twins, total 7 in this game. Let's switch over to baseball on my live odds, and on my Action Network we'll switch over there so we can get the baseball numbers. Let me switch over to my spreadsheet. So now we're into baseball mode, where we get the Tampa Bay Rays, or the Minnesota Twins, with Pablo Lopez taking on Tage Bradley. This game starts at 110. Line opened up at a 127. It's now a 142. So a 15-cent line moving here towards Minnesota. Line opened up at a 7.5 minus 110. It's now a 7 at minus 120. So I'll move towards the under and a move towards the Minnesota Twins, expecting Pablo Lopez to pitch well today, which is fair. 91% of the tickets and 76% of the cash is on the over. Wow, when this line's dropping. 9 and 24 on the under. Makes that under very appealing to start my day with. The thing is trusting Tage Bradley to pitch better, which he possibly could in this game. 78% of the tickets and 98% of cash is on the Twins in this game. The line's moving towards Minnesota as well. This tells me Pablo Lopez is going to have a good game. Now, the ultimate question on the flip side of this is, can Tage Bradley have a good enough game for me to trust an under? Lopez, 1.71 ERA, 1.07 whip, 6.25 strikeouts per nine, which is 17%, 1.42 walks per nine, a 284 BABIP, a 3.36 FIP, and a 3.97 SIERA. On the flip side, Tage Bradley, 10.41 strikeouts ERA, 2.01 whip. He's really struggled as of late, but I think that's just a couple blow-up starts for him. So I'm going to get up his game logs here in a second. 6.94 strikeouts per nine, which is 16%, 3.86 walks per nine, a 383 BABIP, but 6.39 FIP on a 5.12 SIERA. Both bullpens have been pretty strong. The bullpen edge goes towards Minnesota. The Rays bullpen has regressed a little bit. And the hitting edge goes towards Minnesota. Only a 95 WRC plus, though, which is 22nd versus righties the last 30 days. But the Rays are really struggling offensively, 78, which is 29th. Both these bullpens have been pretty decent, and I feel like I would trust this under full game more. The only thing is Tage Bradley's been horrible as of late. 4 earned runs, 5 earned runs, 6 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 5 earned runs, 8 earned runs. Wow. Does he finally get it together here? But he did that. Granted, the Miami start was like a noon start, so that kind of threw him off. St. Louis, I don't know there. But then Houston, Oakland, LA, and San Diego. Oakland had been hitting as of late. He only gave 3 earned runs to them. But he gets hit by Houston. He gets hit by the Dodgers. He gets hit by the Padres. 3 teams that could easily be in the World Series this year. So, and I do think that the Minnesota Twins are a downgrade from those teams. I think that's pretty obvious. So I think he can have a decent start here in this game. And the ultimate question is this a first 5 under or is this a full game under? Which I kind of want to take a look at. Let's see. Do we have RotoWire bullpen usage? We do. Because this is a game where I don't mind both these bullpens. I don't. So maybe this is a full game under to start off my day here in this spot. Let's take a look at what these bullpens have done as of late. The Rays bullpen seems Rasmussen threw 22 pitches on Tuesday. He had the day off yesterday. Garrett Clevinger will be available. Edwin Uceta will be available. Manuel Rodriguez will. Richard Lovelady, maybe he threw 19 yesterday. Kevin Kelly threw 13 yesterday. Hunter Biggie threw 19 yesterday. I think Colson Sulcer will be the only non-available arm there. 37 pitches. And this Rays bullpen has been pretty good, and it feels like they just slot in guys whenever. Scott Blewett threw 43 pitches yesterday. Michael Tonkin threw 38 the last 2 days, 17 yesterday. He won't be available. Everybody else that looks like a pretty fresh bullpen. Griffin Jacks will be available. Joanne Duran will be available. Cole Sands, Caleb Thebar. I think this is a full game under here in this spot. And I want to see if I can still get that 7.5, and I can over on ESPN Bet at -125. That's how I'm going to start my day here because I think this first 5 is a 4 at -125. The full game's a 7.5. I want to take a look at what this first 5 total has done because I feel like I want to trust the bullpens more than Tage Bradley in this game. This line's moved towards the under 7 cents in the first 5 innings. But I think I want to trust the bullpen for these games, for these 2 teams as well. So I think that's where I'm going to go to start my day is the full game under here, -125, under 7.5 to get my day started. Minnesota and Tampa Bay. These are 2 bullpens I kind of do trust. Let's see. Let me log in to make sure ESPN Bet still has it. And if they do, I'm going to take the full game under 7.5 at -125. Twins -142. I mean, yeah, I guess if I'm betting aside, it's Twins or nothing, just with the market moves, but not one I'm like overly joyed to get involved with. Oh, Twins, can we trust them? Kinda. I don't know if I can trust. I don't know how much I trust the Rays. So sure, I think it'll be a 0-0 first inning and live at the Twins. That's a fair look. It's a fair look. I got that under 7.5 -125. So we'll go with that. Because if it's 4-3, I want to win, not push. So there's that. You think the Reds can pull it off? I wouldn't look that way, especially with the blowout yesterday. I think that's a game where the Astros bounce back, but we'll get into that. Trevor Larnach home run, 6-1. Twins money line in the over 4.5 runs. Looking at a 2-leg parlay teaser, both +6 or both ways. Bengals and Packers. I don't know how I want to approach that Bengals game yet. My interest a little bit is taking the points with the Patriots because I feel like just everybody's down on the Patriots, and I think there might be a little bit of value there in a potential low-scoring, low-variance game. And the Packers, I was leaning the other way with the Eagles. I don't know, though. I haven't bet that game yet, so we'll see. Have you noticed that he's faced good teams lately? Yes. I mentioned that he's faced the Astros, an Oakland team that's been hitting the Dodgers and the Padres the last 4 starts. This is definitely a downgrade. Yeah, Bradley. Yeah. This is definitely a downgrade, which is why I like the under. Royce Lewis hit. Jose Miranda hit even money. It's not a bad look. As long as they're singles and we don't get many runs, I am all for it. Let's move on. Houston Astros and the Cincinnati Reds, -150 for them Astros, total of 9 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this one with Hunter Brown and Rhett Lauder. In this game, this line opened up at a 150. It is now a 155. So we have a 5-cent line movement towards the Houston Astros. Line opened up at a 9 at 117. It got up to a 9.5. It's back down to a 9. It's moved 1 cent towards the under since the opening line. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game here, where we have 66% of the tickets and 72% of the cash on the Astros, and the line's moving towards the Astros. 87% of the tickets, 86% of the cash is on the over. The line is moving towards the under. So it kind of tells me that we see a decent pitching matchup here. Let's get into it. Hunter Brown and Rhett Lauder. Hunter Brown, 1.45 ERA, a 0.87 whip, 8.42 strikeouts per 9, which is 25%. 2.9 walks per 9, a 2.08 BABIP, but 2.69 FIP, and a 3.81 SIERA. On the flip side, we have Rhett Lauder. He was the 7th overall pick in the 2023 draft, the same draft with Paul Skeens, with Wyatt Langford, and out of Wake Forest. He was absolutely nasty in Wake Forest. I remember that. And he came out, he looked decent in his first start. He gave up 1 earned run on 2 hits, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts in 4 innings. The Reds end up losing that game 14-0 to the Brewers, but it wasn't because of Rhett Lauder. He looked decent. The 4 walks was concerning, but he was never a guy that walked many batters at Wake Forest. He was never a guy who walked many batters in the minor leagues. So I think that was just MLB debut jitters, and that's fully understandable. It's your first game in the big leagues. Now you get the Astros, though, at Great American Small Park. I am projecting a bounce back game here for the Houston Astros. And who better to do it than Hunter Brown, which is arguably been their second best pitcher on the staff, because I still want to give Framber Valdez. He's the ace. He's the one I'm handing the ball to game 1. But you look at what Hunter Brown has done since having that horrible start in Minnesota on July the 6th. 2 earned runs against the Rangers in 6 innings. No earned runs in 6 innings against the Mariners. 1 earned run in 6 innings against the Athletics. He gave up 4 earned runs against the Pirates. He had a bad start there. After that, 1 earned run, 2 earned runs, 1 earned run, 1 earned run, no earned runs. And he went 6, 5 1/3, 7, 6, and 6 2/3. So he's looked good, Hunter Brown. And they expect him to go pretty far in this game. Over 17.5 outs is -200 over on Caesars. So they expect a good start from him in this game. And his hits is a 5.5. They've been around a 5.5 for him here. They're expecting a good start for Hunter Brown. And I kind of do as well. I think he pitches really well in this game. And I look for the Astros to bounce back after getting absolutely embarrassed yesterday. And maybe this is just Astros -1 and move on type of game. And I think that's where I would like to move on this game, is a bounce back game for the Houston Astros, because you look at what they did yesterday. They were down, 9-0 at the end of the first inning. And they're looking to avoid a sweep here in Cincinnati. Cincinnati heads to New York tomorrow to play the Mets. It was 9-0 at the end of the first, and after that, the game was over. So I think that, And let me take a look here at bullpens because I think that this is a spot where the Astros, I don't think they threw high leverage arms because obviously you wouldn't throw high leverage arms down 9-0. So I'm assuming that means, yeah, they use Forrest Whitley for 48 pitches yesterday, and they used Taylor Scott for 58 pitches. Caleb Ort threw 21. Hector Neris threw 14. Ryan Presley did throw 12. But they'll have Abreu available. They'll have Presley available. They'll probably have Neris available, and they have Caleb Ferguson available in the bullpen, and maybe Caleb Ort as well. The only ones I don't see available is Whitley and Scott. So I think this is Astros -1. And the more and more I talk about it, the more and more I want it. So I think I'm going to start off with some afternoon action on both 1 o'clock games. I think I'm going to go under. I have already bet the under 7.5 in that first game. And I would like to move on Astros -1. And I'm going to move on these games after the show because I'm not going to sit around and bet games. So I'm writing that down to add to the end of the show. I've already bet the under 7.5 in that first game, but I will be on the Astros -1. I think I need to move some money around for it because I see the best available number is on Fanatics. So I'd like to move on it there. So I'll do that. I'll do that after the show. I will be on the Astros -1 in this game in this spot, which -150 and plus 105 looks like to be the line for it. So let's see what that line will be. -122, Astros -1 will probably make my card. Or not probably, it will make my card. So covering any WNBA today, I wasn't planning on it. What type of games do we have? Because I kind of do want to talk some hoops here. We have 2 games. You know what? I'm going to type them in. MD, I'm gonna type them into the end here because I know Tim doesn't like to talk about other sports during the show, but I do. So we're going to type them in because I remember last time we talked over a WNBA game, I ended up passing up on the game, but I think I would have won that game laying the points with the Sun. So I'm going to type in the Storm and the Liberty, and then we get the Washington Mystics taking on the Phoenix Mercury as well. So stay till the end of the show, and we will be going over those 2 games as well. So there we go. I have WNBA typed up. What about the over? I don't know about the over. I don't, because I like Rhett Lauder. I do. I think he has the stuff to be able to be a good 2 or 3 in the major leagues. And I really like Hunter Brown. So I think I'd lean under, but I don't know how to approach that. Astros -1.5. You have to send a message after the disgusting loss last night. I also don't think they get swept. So yeah, Spaghetti got rocked yesterday. I had them. I stayed off. I didn't end up backing the Astros because I like my boy Nick Martinez, and for whatever reason I love Nick Martinez. I don't know why, but yeah, going with them today. Yeah, I like it there. Kuznetsov just scored his first KHL goal. There you go, Kuznetsov. Astros money line and over 4.5 runs. Don't hate that look. I'm going under in this game. It screams under. That's fair. Astros are a joke. They just had a bad game. It happens. No one wants to play baseball in Cincy. That's fair. My God, no, don't know WNBA. Makes me want to talk WNBA even more. You still got that Kamala Harris ticket for president? Yes, I got 18-1 back after the first debate with Biden and Trump. So that's all I'm going to – and I've already – by the way, if you follow me on Twitter, we've already cashed an 8-1 ticket for her to be the nominee. So there you go. And we're not getting into politics on this show. We'll talk betting politics. I will do content because 2 months from now is the election. I will do content on the election, how to bet it from a neutral perspective. We will be talking numbers. We'll be talking polling. We'll be talking projections. We'll be talking stuff like that. Coming up, using the poll numbers and things along those lines to create betting lines and projected betting lines to see if we can find value on certain certain candidates to win certain states and things along those lines. We bet the election in 2020. We made money that way. I'm looking to do the same thing here. We will talk politics on this channel only in a betting perspective. That's the only way we will talk politics on this channel. I wanted to just let you guys know that now. So I will not bring up comments on policies. I will not bring up comments on stuff like that. But if you want to talk betting odds, you want to talk numbers when it comes to making money on the election, that I will talk about. But if you want to talk policies, if you want to talk what side you are, I don't give a fuck. So there you go. We will get back into baseball now. I will be on the Astros -1. I will add that after the show. Seattle Mariners and the Oakland Athletics. Brian Woo taking on Joey Estes. -145 for those Mariners. Total 7.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot where it opened up at a 134. It's up to a 145. One thing I've noticed is the markets have been pretty good projecting when the Athletics are going to lose. And this market move tells me that they're not live in this game. Line opened up at an 8. It's down to a 7.5. So another move towards the under here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow, the cash flow in this game. 79% of tickets, 96% of the cash is on the Mariners. And then we have 87% of the tickets and 89% of the cash is on the over. In this game, the line's dropping. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup here. We have Brian Woo, 2.23 ERA, a 0.69 whip, 7.59 strikeouts per nine, which is 23%, 0.67 walks per nine, a 187 BABIP, a 3.4 FIP, and a 3.52 SIERA. On the flip side, we have Joey Estes with a 3.03 ERA, a 0.84 whip, 7.57 strikeouts per nine, which is 22%, 1.01 walks per nine, a 198 BABIP, a 4.46 FIP, and a 4.41 SIERA. The bullpen edge, as of late, is going towards the Athletics. And the hitting edge goes towards the Oakland A's, 111 WRC plus, which is 11th compared to 106, which is 14th. Ultimately, not a game I'm getting involved with. The market's telling me that the Mariners probably take care of business in this game. However, do I want to back the Mariners off of a 16-run outburst yesterday? Hell no. Maybe this is an under. Maybe this is just under the total in this game with the line moving towards the under. All the money and all the tickets are on the over. Maybe this is just under the total. And maybe the question is it first five or full game? The first five has moved 5 cents towards the under, so they are showing that this could be a little bit of a lower scoring game. Looking at the bullpen usage here, Oakland's bullpen is pretty fresh. They used Jansen Junk for 33 pitches yesterday. They used Ross Stripling for 47. They used Hogan Harris for 37 on Tuesday. Other than that, everybody else fresh, ready to go. Mason Miller, Tyler Fitzgerald, JT McFarland, Grant Holman, Mikel Otanez are all going to be available. This is a really fresh bullpen here for the Oakland Athletics. On the Mariners side here, looks like a pretty fresh bullpen as well. Andres Munoz is day-to-day, but he hasn't thrown since Saturday. Chirinos threw 13 yesterday. Edward Bizardo threw 15. Diaz threw 9. And Seduso threw 6. So this is a fresh Mariners bullpen. And to lean towards an under for me, if anything, I'm not getting involved in this game, though. But it would be under or nothing if I'm betting this game. There we go. Yeah. Woo! Yes, woo. Cal Raleigh home run. He's been hot lately. Why not? Oakland money line. I don't blame you. I'm not laying a number with the Mariners on the road. I can tell you that. Brent Rooker, home run. And leaning A's. Fair enough. We will continue on, though. We have the Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Francisco Giants. -140 for these San Francisco Giants. That kind of caught me off guard, them being this big of a favorite with Merrill Kelly on the mound. It's Merrill Kelly and it's Blake Snell. This line opened up at a 135. It's now a 142 for the Giants. So we've had about a 7-cent line movement here towards San Fran. And then we have on the total, line opening up at a 7.5 at -105 to the over. It's now +105 to the over. So we have a 10-cent line movement towards the under in this game here. Let's take a look at this cash flow in this spot where we have 92% of the tickets and 91% of the cash is on the over in this game with the line moving towards that over or towards the under. My bad. I apologize. And this line open, or 30% of the tickets and 98% of the cash is on the Diamondbacks. So yet this line's moving towards the Giants. Tells me the Giants are probably the play in this game. If you're looking at the side, do I want to lay this type of number with the Giants against a red-hot Diamondbacks team? No, but that just makes the Giants more appealing in this game because who actually wants to lay $1.40 with the Giants here in this spot? With the Diamondbacks playing the way they are. This kind of tells me the Diamondbacks the Giants are probably going to run away with this game, and this is probably Giants -1 or nothing on the side. However, looking at this pitching matchup, we have Merrill Kelly, who's not looked particularly great. I wanted the under in this game. With Kelly and with Kelly and Snell, I wanted a full game under at 7.5. I kind of want the under. Can I trust Merrill Kelly on the road is the ultimate question. Let's get into it. Merrill Kelly, 6.75 ERA, 1.69 WHIP the last 30 days. 5.06 strikeouts per nine, which is 12%. 3.34 walks per nine, a 3.10 BABIP, a 6.97 FIP, and a 5.52 SIERA. On the flip side, Blake Snell, 1.64 ERA, a 0.83 WHIP, 12.44 strikeouts per nine, which is 37%. 3.78 walks per nine, a 2.03 BABIP, a 2 FIP, and a 3.05 SIERA. The bullpen edge goes towards the Diamondbacks. If we can get to the Diamondbacks bullpen, we'll be fine. The Giants bullpens look pretty good as well. The Giants are not hitting righties, 84 WRC plus, which is 28th, compared to 125 for the Arizona Diamondbacks against lefties. However, how many of those lefties are Blake Snell pitching the way he's pitched as of late? Like, when we look at the lefties that they have faced, it's been Kyle Harrison. Is Robleski a lefty? I don't remember if Robleski is a lefty or not, but I believe he is. It was Robleski. They got to Kershaw. They struggled against David Peterson. They struggled against Manaea. So this is a team that, it shows that they're hitting lefties. I think that's just the one blow-up game against Robleski, really. And I think this game goes under when I'm looking at this spot here. I want to see if, how the first five here. I think Merrill Kelly can pitch well in this game against a struggling Giants offense. So that's another thing that kind of appeals to me here is the under. And maybe this is just another full game under in this spot. Let's take a look what the first five has done. The first five has moved 10 cents towards the under. So, okay. I think this is an under. And I would like to probably shop around here and maybe add this under. If it's, I can get a 7.5. If I can get a 7.5 post show, I think I'm going to add this under as well. So I'm going to write this down. Arizona, San Fran, under 7.5. If I can get it there, I think I'm going to move on this under as well. So under 7.5 for me is most likely the play here in this game. Look ahead spot for Seattle. That's fair. Eugenio Suarez, home run. There you go. Giant spot. Yeah, I could see a giant spot in this one. Jock Pederson, home run. Don't hate that. D-backs, plus 138. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I could understand why the Diamondbacks are so appealing to bettors because they've been playing as good as they have and all that, but I don't know. Look ahead spot for Arizona. They play Houston tomorrow. That's gonna be such a fun series. That could potentially be a World Series preview right there. Houston and Arizona. So they gave Chapman $150 million extension. They are so desperate. $25 million for a 250, 70 RBI guy. This tells me they offer Alonso $35 million a year. I could see it. We'll see. Merrill Kelly's a stud. Yeah. Is it under Thursday? I kind of think so. Giants 1-4 in the last 5. Yeah, but they got Blake Snell on the mound. That's my argument for that. Let's get into it. I've already moved on this game. I laid the run line at -140. Am I proud of it? No. Let's get into it. The Philadelphia Phillies and the Miami Marlins. This line opened up at a 195, got all the way up to a 230. It's actually come back down to a 219, but we still have a decent move towards these Phillies in this game. Line opened up at an 8.5, -110. It's now an 8 at -120. So we have a line move towards the under here as well. We have 90% of tickets and 78% of cash on the Phillies. Line's moving towards them. 85 and 86 on the over, and this line's dropping, which is kind of interesting there. It does, once again, appeal to another under. the line dropping and all the money on the under. But we have Ranger Suarez and Adam Oller. Adam Oller's not been terrible. Ranger Suarez, a 5 ERA, a 1.22 whip, 12 strikeouts per nine, which is 32%, 2 walks per nine, a 333 BABIP, a 406 FIP, and a 2.75 SIERA. On the flip side, Adam Oller, 3.31 ERA, 1.04 whip, 8.82 strikeouts per nine, which is 24%, 4.41 walks per nine, a 179 BABIP, a 4.64 FIP, and a 4.62 SIERA. The bullpen edge goes towards the Phillies. The bullpen edge Phillies, hitting edge Phillies, starting pitching Phillies. So 112 WRC plus, which is 10th against 10th compared to 91, which is 21st. I think the Phillies smash here in this spot. They're coming in off of a series win against Philadelphia or against Toronto. This Marlins team is coming in off of playing an extra inning game yesterday, a walk-off win against the Nationals. They finally got a win against the Nationals. Only took them, 9 games to do so, 8 games to do so. So they finally beat the Nationals. I think this is a spot where Philly's starting to get right for the playoffs. And I laid the run line here at the Phillies at $1.40. Not proud, but it is what it is. Marlins upset. Schwarber home run. Schwarber bases. If you're a player prop person, Kyle Schwarber is definitely somebody you got to be looking at right now. Home run for him as well. But yeah, I bet the boy is picking the Phillies. Anyone want to bet me? No, nobody does. Philly minus 235 parlay. Should the Phillies be favored by minus 235 when it's Ranger Suarez versus Adam Oller? Absolutely. Yep. So much for Philly second half. They've regressed in the second half. Remember, they couldn't win a game. What felt like they went on that 5-18 run or whatever. Yeah, they had a bad second half. If you went at the All-Star break, when you go back and watch my video for buy and sell, and I told you to sell on the Phillies under 98.5 wins, that's going to win with ease. With ease. The Phillies under 98.5 wins. And now they're starting to play bad teams again. And they're starting to win games. So, shocker. They can beat the Blue Jays. Cool. Yeah, they won 3 out of 4 against the Braves, which I, as a Mets fan, I do appreciate that. They beat the Nationals, the Marlins. They struggled against the D-backs. They struggled against the Mariners. They got swept by the Yankees. They got almost swept by the Guardians. They lost 2 out of 3 against Minnesota. They lost 2 out of 3 against Pittsburgh. They lost 2 out of 3 against Oakland. That's the regression I was talking about. And I said under 98.5 wins. And I think that's going to cash with relative ease. So, wow, the Phillies are only 5-4 versus the Marlins. Yeah, they are. I don't get why they can't beat them. Are you worried about Philly travel? No. Because the Marlins had to travel too. Fading, cool. They turned it on. Yeah. As of late, but you look right out of the All-Star break where I said their schedule gets tough. They struggled. They did. Are you worried that the Phillies had to travel from Toronto? Also, no Harper. That makes me like it even more. People are going to overreact and be like, oh, the Marlins are actually live because no Bryce Harper. I don't care. They beat KC and the Astros. Cool. KC can't win a fucking game right now. And they got 2 against the Astros. Good for them. I think the Phillies can beat the Yankees in the playoffs. I think so too. Do the Yankees actually scare you? Walk Soto, walk Judge, and let somebody else beat you. The Yankees are not scary come playoffs, especially when you have Clay Holmes coming in the ninth. They're not scary. Yeah. Phillies don't care about losing to the Marlins. They already win 8+ games already. Yeah. Fair. We'll move on though. I am on the Philly run line. I got that earlier. So there you go. Pittsburgh Pirates. Pick them against the Washington Nationals. Total of 8 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this one between Bailey Falter and Jake Irvin. This line opened up at a 119. It's down to a 112. So we have a 7-cent line movement towards the Pirates. And then we have this line open up at an 8.5 minus 110. It's now an 8 at minus 117. So we have a move towards the under. We have a move towards the Nationals in this game here. 73% of the tickets and 53% of the cash on the Pirates. The line moving towards the Nationals does pique some interest and some attitude for me here in this spot. 92% of the tickets, 90% of the cash on the over. Line dropping. So we have another spot here where can we see them pitch well? I have to trust Jake Irving, though, which is a huge question mark for me. 6.61 ERA, 1.59 whip. 6.89 strikeouts per nine, which is 17%. 2.76 walks per nine, a 330 BABIP, a 6.23 FIP, and a 4.65 SIERA. On the flip side, Bailey Falter, 6.53 ERA, 1.74 whip, 7.4 strikeouts per nine, which is 18%. 2.61 walks per nine, a 408 BABIP, a 303 FIP, and a 4.61 SIERA. The bullpen edge goes towards the Nationals. The hitting edge goes towards the Pirates. 87 WRC plus, which is 27th, compared to 78, which is 24th. Not a game I'm getting involved with, but the Nationals do seem very appealing on the side here in this spot. It'd be Nationals and under for me. I don't know what to expect from Jake Irving now. Because one thing we got to keep in mind, and Irving is one of those candidates, he is well past his career high in innings pitched. Well past it. Because last year, he threw 121 innings with the Nationals. He's up to 156 in the third innings pitched. So then we've seen some regression from him. He gave up 7 last start, 2 against the Braves, which is decent, 4 against the Phillies, 2, 5, 4. So he's had a couple starts where he gave up 6. I am not interested in backing Irving. And does he have a pitching edge against Bailey Falter? I think that's really balanced out. And it's just, for me, I'm not betting this game. I'm not. It's a stay off spot. It'd be Nationals or nothing. It'd be under or nothing, but it's a pass. Yeah. Anybody can beat the Yankees in the playoffs. Yeah. You give me now. You get what would the playoff matchups here? It would be Yankees versus Twins. Well, the Yankees the Yankees will beat the Twins because they always beat the Twins. But then they would get the Nope, they wouldn't get the Astros. They would get the Guardians. I think the Guardians can beat the Yankees. I think the Astros can beat the Yankees. I think the Orioles can beat the Yankees. I think the Royals are live against the Yankees. So we'll see. Not the Twins. Yeah. No, they're not beating the Twins. If Timmy were here, he would say to fade the piss poor Marlins. The Marlins have been eliminated from the playoffs. There you go. Philadelphia Phillies smash spot. I can see it. Oh, Pittsburgh Pirates. Pittsburgh Pirates and Philadelphia Phillies. Nationals money line and the over 8. I would lean Nationals and under. That would be my lean. Tuffy may pass. Need your head examined to bet this. I was actually interested in that game, so we'll see. O'Neal Cruz 4-1 home run. I can see that. Only like the Pirates when Skeen starts and Falter on the mound. Fair. Bullpen is a disaster. Guys not running hard. Boone is out after this year, no doubt. As a Mets fan, they should extend him. Let's get into the next matchup, though. We have 3 baseball games left, and then we got 2 games in the WNBA to go over. So we'll get into the Atlanta Braves and the Colorado Rockies. This line opened up at a 283. It's down to a 266. So line movement towards the Colorado Rockies in this game. Line opened up at an 8.5 minus 112. It's now an 8 at minus 113. The Braves have been an awesome under team this year. They have. We have Austin Gomer taking on Ronaldo Lopez in this spot. We have 88% of the tickets and 86% of the cash is on the over in this game. The lines move towards the under. 95 and 94 towards the Braves. And this line's moved towards the Rockies, telling me that we could see the Rockies be live in this game. Looking at my spreadsheet, I don't know how, but I mean, they're minus 270 for a reason. Gomer, 4.37 ERA, 1.23 whip. 6.17 strikeouts per nine, which is 16%. 2.31 walks per nine, a 257 BABIP, a 5.26 FIP, and a 4.83 SIERA. On the flip side, Ronaldo Lopez has returned from his injury and looked awesome. 1.59 ERA, a 1 whip, 12.18 strikeouts per nine, which is 34%. 2.65 walks per nine, 289 BABIP, but 2.11 FIP, and a 2.81 SIERA. The bullpen edge goes towards the Braves. The hitting edge goes towards the Braves. 130 WRC plus, which is the best in baseball versus lefties, which I think is ultimately going to keep me off the under in this game because I could see the Braves getting to Austin Gomber. I absolutely can. And the Rockies are not hitting. I mean, they're hitting a little bit better. 93 WRC plus, which is 24th. Not a game I'm getting involved with. I'm not laying it with. I'm not going to lay it with the Braves at all. But I would lean under. But the under. But the Braves being the best team against lefties definitely scares me for that. So no play for me here in this game. It's a pass. Yeah. Washington first 5. Yeah. Braves cash cow. Nope. Lines dropped. It went from a 183 to a 268. So we'll see. So no cash cow for them. Rockies upset. Would love to see it. I don't think it's happening. So we'll see. Lopez is going to dominate the Rockies. Yeah, they do. Braves will. Yeah, they absolutely should. They were a team that was supposed to win over 100 games this year. Braves are a team. The Mets pitfall is coming soon. You know they will have some bad losses somewhere. I mean, probably. But at the end of the day, the Mets control their own destiny. Would it be nice if the Braves can lose some baseball games? Absolutely. But there's 3 games at the end of the season, the second to last series that the Mets have, that are against the Atlanta Braves. And that'll make or break the year. So, we'll see. Ozuna bomb, and don't be a Gomber. Fair enough. So, no play for me in that game. We'll move on. The Rangers are minus 170 favorites. Total of 8 in this game. It's not a game I probably am going to get involved with, but let's get into this pitching matchup where this line opened up at a 170. It's a 173 for the Rangers. So we have a couple cent line movement towards the Texas Rangers here. Line opening up an 8.5. Once again, I move towards the under. It's now an 8. We have 90% of tickets and 83% of the cash is on the over. The line's dropped in this game here. We have 88% of the tickets, 91% of the cash on the Rangers. The lines move slightly towards them. If this hits 180 with the Rangers or 185, this is a cash cow spot potentially in this game. The total is 8 or higher, so we're good there. We have Cody Bradford taking on Jack Kohanowitz in this one. Kohanowitz, a 2.45 ERA, 1.13 whip. 2.45 strikeouts per 9, which is 7%, 1.4 walks per 9, a 264 BABIP, a 4.34 FIP, and a 4.68 SIERA. On the flip side, Cody Bradford, 3.12 ERA, 0.92 WHIP, 8.57 strikeouts per 9, which is 24%, 1.3 walks per 9, a 239 BABIP, a 3.66 FIP, and a 3.65 SIERA. The bullpen edge going towards the Angels. And the hitting edge goes towards the Angels. 113 WRC plus, which is 7th, compared to 98, which is 20th. This line being so wide, I mean, I lean Angels, I guess. I think Kohanowitz can have a decent start in this game. I do. And on the flip side, Cody Bradford's been pretty good. I don't trust these bullpens one bit. So that would absolutely be first 5 or nothing for the total being the under. But not a game I'm getting involved with. It'd be under or nothing and probably be Angels or nothing, but no play here. Matt Olson homer. Maybe. Phillies maybe a cash cow. Nope, they're not a home team. Don't the Rockies strike out the most in baseball on the road? Fair. The only reason the Braves won yesterday is because Ludacris threw the first pitch. Fair. Angels upset. Yeah, I could see that. Matt Olson, yep. Markel, I'm adding that. Rangers bullpen is suspect. Both these bullpens are suspect. With everyone humping up on the Rangers, I could see an upset. Maybe just hate it because the Angels suck. Here's the thing. I think both these teams are in bet against spots right now. They're both coming in against dominant wins against 2 teams that a lot of people can see playing in the World Series, because the Angels are coming off of a 10-1 win against the Dodgers, and the Rangers are coming in off of a 10-6 win against the Yankees. So we'll see. LA Angels money line, no value on the Rangers. I agree with that. But we'll move on. Last game of the day, the San Diego Padres and the Detroit Tigers. We have the Padres at 150 favorites with a total of 8.5 in this game. Line opened up at a minus 164. It's down to a 149, so we have a move towards these Detroit Tigers. Line opened up at a 8.5 minus 102, and it's now an 8.5 minus 101. So it's a 1 cent line movement towards the under in this game here. We have 75% of the tickets, 74% of the cash is on the over. The line's not moving. And we have 82% of the tickets, 88% of the cash on the Padres. And the line's moving towards the Tigers. Tells me the Tigers are alive in this game. And I can understand why people want to bet the Tigers in the spot, because you look who's on the mound. It's Martin Perez for the Padres. It's Casey Minus for the Tigers, who I believe has made one appearance since coming back off the IL, where he pitched not great. He went up against the Red Sox in a game they lost 7-5 in extra innings. Gave up 3 earned runs on 5 hits, 1 walks, and 4 strikeouts in 6 innings. That was his first start in a month. On the flip side, Martin Perez has been pretty solid. 3.41 ERA, 1.23 WHIP, 7.96 strikeouts per 9, which is 21%, 2.84 walks per 9, a 2.53 BABIP, a 5.32 FIP, and a 4.25 SIERA. Bullpen edge going towards the Padres. Hitting edge goes towards the Padres, 123 WRC plus, which is 5th against righties. The Tigers are hitting lefties, so 117 WRC plus, which is 5th against lefties. And no play for me here in the spot. I guess it's Tigers or nothing, looking at the market, but my X's and O's kind of like the Padres a little bit, so it's a no play for me. And with the way these two teams are hitting right now against lefties or righties compared to, for each team, not interested in the under in this game. So pass to end the card. So it looks like for baseball, I'm already on Philly run line and the under 7.5 Tampa and Minnesota. I'm going to add the under in San Fran, Arizona, and the Astros -1. And that'll conclude my baseball card for the day. We had a question earlier. We're going to get into WNBA in a second. I don't have a backdrop for WNBA, but we'll get into that in a minute. Tigers, yeah. Cash cow -150. No, it's -180. -180. Home team. Line moving towards the home team, at least 10 cents, total above 8. Public on them. Padres smash spot, but it's Martin Perez, though, over 8.5. San Diego going to sweep. See it. Hopefully they become a cow. The line's moving the wrong way for them. WNBA, see ya. Bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. We try to cap sports that can make us money here. A good spot to bet a hockey team is when they've played a team versus a team who hasn't to start the season. That's a fair look because you're already in the mode for what do you call it? You're already in the mode for hockey. But we have 2 games left because this was brought up, and I wanted to go over these games because we get an opportunity to cap a sport that I think can make us money. I know Tim doesn't like to talk about this on the show much, but I like to talk out games, especially in sports I don't follow super closely. So we have the New York Liberty taking on the Seattle Storm. The Liberty are 8-point favorites, total of 164.5. This line opened up at a 7.5, went down to an 8, back up to a 7.5, or went from a 7.5 up to an 8, back down to a 7.5. Line opened up at a 164.5. It's still a 164.5. So really no help here on the markets for this first game in this spot. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one. We usually don't have much. And we have 71% of the tickets are on the Liberty. The line's really not moving. It did get up to an 8, but it's come back down. 50-50 split on the total. The line's not moving there. So no real help on the market for this first game. We have the Seattle Storm coming in off of a win against the Connecticut Sun. They bounced back after losing to the Sun the previous game. They did just play this Liberty team, and they lost by 13 at home. Now we head to New York, where they're 14-3. This is the first game back off of a road trip for the New York Liberty. They went 2-1 on the road trip. They beat the Mercury 84-70. They lose to the Sparks 94-88, but then they bounced back and they beat the Storm. The Storm was the last game the Liberty played, and that was on August 30th. So they haven't played in a little bit. Meanwhile, this Storm team's been on the road and they've been playing consistently here. I think the Storm are worth a look in this game, plus the points. If you're looking at this game, especially when you get that short-term revenge. And I would like to see if we've had any line movement on this first half, because I think Storm first half is worth a look here. It's gone from a 4 to a 4.5. Dang. Okay. It'd be Storm or nothing for me in this game. It would be the only way I would look in this spot. And whether or not I get involved in it, I think that's a spot I would like to get involved with, actually, is the Storm in this game, taking the points. They just played this Liberty team. This was the last team the Liberty played. It's the first game back off of a road trip for the Liberty, which I think is a good bet against spot. So I think capping this game, I like the Storm in this spot, and I think I'm going to take the 7.5 with the Storm when it comes to this game. So I think they're live in the spot. Let's see. Also, Rays / Twins first 3 under 2.5. I could see that. Seattle spread. I kind of like that. Before I leave, what is the record on WNBA record on the site? If you're winning, okay, I'm wrong then. I honestly don't know, because Tim's the one that does it. I don't know. So, I don't know. Yeah, that's a Tim question, because he puts up all the WNBA. I barely cap the WNBA. So, but I have an opportunity with a small baseball card to go over it. I'm interested. Liberty. Full game, but the Storm first half plus the points. See, I could see that. I don't like the way that the lines move from 4 to 4.5 in the first half. But we'll get into the next game here. This is an interesting line move. We had the Phoenix Mercury taking on the Washington Mystics. Line opened up at a 4.5, immediately went to a 5.5. And it's kind of stayed put there. It went down to a 5. It went up to a 6 at one point. But we're back to where we started at 5.5. Or it started at 4.5. So we have a 1 point line movement towards the Mercury. Line opened up 166.5. 166. It's now 166.5. So we'll move towards the over here in this one as well. 39% of the tickets, 99% of the cash is on the Phoenix Mercury laying the points in this game, with the line moving a point towards them. So I guess that line move makes sense. Let's take a look at what these two teams done as of late. These two teams are the Mystics are coming in off a win against the Dallas Wings, 90 to 86. They won outright. The Mystics have been covering as of late. They've covered in 5 of the last 6 games. The only one they didn't was the one I was leaning towards the Sun, where they lost by 11 as 8-point dogs. Other than that, I mean, they cover minus 2.5 against the Sky. They cover 10.5 in an outright win against the Storm, and they cover as 5.5-point favorites against the Sparks. On the flip side, the Phoenix Mercury covered their last game against the Atlanta Dream, 74-66. They had lost 3 games in a row, and they had not covered, and they'd been 0-4-1 heading into that Dream game. For me, this is a no-play game for me. I think the game I have a little bit more interested is taking the Storm plus the points in that game. So I think that's where I'm going to end up in the WNBA, is only the Storm in this game, only the Storm plus 7.5. It's going to be a no-play here between Mystics and Mercury for me. Y'all guys going over Sunday football slate? Yes, we are. We will definitely be going over the Sunday football slate on Sunday. Mystic spread. Yep. I don't know. I don't like that Mystics game. But that is everything for today's show. Quick little recap, and then we will head on out. I'm on the Chiefs laying 2.5 points. I got that at minus 120 about 10 days ago. If you can find a 2.5, great. I don't mind a 3 either. I think they can win by 4 to 7 points. It's kind of where I have that game projected. I'm on the Philly run line, minus 140. I'm not proud of that one, but it is what it is. And I'm on the under 7.5 with Minnesota and Tampa Bay. I will be adding the Astros minus 1 and the Giants Diamondbacks under 7.5. And I will be adding the Storm plus 7.5 here as well. But that is going to do it for this one. Let me find the outro. I want to thank you guys as always for watching, and we'll catch you guys same time, same place for another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Good luck, guys.